Alien scientists first noticed the strange readings during what should have been a routine scan of a quiet star region. The area had been mapped many times before and was known mainly for human research stations and small colonies. Nothing dangerous, nothing rare. Yet on this day the sensors behaved differently. Lines of data shifted in ways no one expected. Energy levels rose and fell without clear reason, forming soft waves instead of sharp spikes. At first, the scientists assumed it was a fault in the equipment. The observation vessel drifted silently beyond human detection range. Inside, a group of alien researchers reviewed the data again and again. Among them was Aaron Tal, a calm and careful analyst known for trusting numbers more than theories. He studied the readings with narrow focus, checking every possible error. The instruments were stable. The calibration was correct. Still, the strange pattern remained. The energy did not come from stars, planets, or machines. It appeared around human locations only. When the sensors moved away from the nearest human station, the readings faded. When they returned, the energy came back stronger and clearer. This detail caught Aaron's full attention. He ordered the sensors to focus on a single structure drifting at the edge of a blue gas cloud, a human research station. Inside that station, Dr. Alan Moore floated near a window, holding a small data pad. He had been working long hours, adjusting environmental systems that never worked quite as planned. The station was old, built quickly years ago when humans first expanded into the sector. Alan had learned to live with strange sounds, flickering lights, and systems that needed constant care. To him, the station felt alive in its own imperfect way. Alan had no idea he was being watched. His thoughts were focused on a cooling system that refused to stabilize. He wiped sweat from his forehead and sighed, then pushed himself toward the control panel. Outside the window, the stars burned quietly, unaware of the attention fixed upon them. Back on the alien vessel, Aaron Tal compared the station's internal activity with the energy readings. Every time humans moved through the station, the energy field shifted slightly. When Alan adjusted the system and relaxed for a moment, the field smoothed. When an alarm briefly sounded and tension rose, the energy tightened, growing brighter. This made no sense. Aaron replayed the data several times. The energy was not produced by machines. It did not match any known power source. It was as if the presence of humans themselves caused space around them to behave differently. The idea felt impossible, yet the numbers refused to change. Other alien scientists joined the review. Some suggested a hidden device, an unknown human experiment. Others believed the humans were unknowingly damaging local space. A few laughed at the idea that humans could affect reality in such a way. Humans were young on the galactic scale. Their technology was rough. Their ships were loud and inefficient. They survived through stubborn effort, not elegance. Aaron Tal did not laugh. He watched the data in silence. To be certain, he expanded the scan. More human settlements appeared on the display, scattered across the region. Around each one, the same soft energy waves formed. Small, steady, and persistent. The pattern was clear now. Wherever humans lived and worked, space itself behaved differently. Aaron felt something rare stir within him. Doubt in accepted science. The galaxy had rules. Energy came from mass, motion, or deliberate design. Life adapted to the universe. It did not shape it. Yet here was evidence that challenged that belief. The energy fields were weak, yes, but they were real. And they were consistent. The alien vessel remained hidden as Aaron ordered long-term observation. He wanted to see what happened during stress, during calm, during danger. The station was a perfect place to start. Human research stations often faced small crises, and Alan Moore seemed to attract them without effort. Hours later, a warning light flashed inside the station. A minor hull breach formed near a storage module after a micrometeor strike. Alan reacted instantly, pushing off the wall and sealing the section manually when the automatic system failed. His heart raced, but his movement stayed steady. He focused on the task, breathing slowly, trusting his training. At that exact moment, the alien sensors recorded a surge. The energy around the station grew stronger, not wild, but firm, like invisible hands holding the structure together. The breach sealed more easily than expected. Internal pressure stabilized faster than predicted. Alan leaned back against the wall, letting out a breath. Lucky again, he muttered to himself. Aaron Tal stared at the data in silence. This was no coincidence. He replayed the moment frame by frame. The energy rose as Alan acted, not before and not after. It responded to intention, to focus, to the human refusal to panic. The implication was unsettling. If humans could influence space without knowing it, what could happen if they ever learned how? The galaxy had never seen such a pattern before because no other species behaved like this. Others relied on perfect systems, on strict order. Humans thrived in chaos. They adapted, patched, improvised, and moved forward even when logic said they should fail. Aaron recorded his findings carefully, choosing his words with care. He knew the council would resist such a claim. Yet truth mattered more than comfort. As the alien vessel drifted in silence, and Alan Moore returned to his work unaware of the eyes upon him, one fact became clear. Humans were changing something fundamental not by force but by simply existing as they were. And that realization sent a quiet ripple of unease through the watching stars. The alien observers did not rush their study. They were patient, silent, and careful, watching from far beyond human sight. Their vessel moved slowly, always hidden behind cosmic dust and light bends. From there they focused their attention on human life, not on machines or structures, but on daily actions that seemed ordinary and unimportant. They wanted to understand why strange energy appeared wherever humans gathered. Their sensors followed movement inside human stations, ships, and surface bases. Patterns formed slowly. The energy rose and fell in gentle waves, never violent, never sharp. It responded to moments of human interaction rather than physical events. This confused the alien scientists who believed emotions were weak things, useful only for survival, not for shaping reality. One human caught their attention more than others. Her name was Sarah Lane, a medical officer stationed on a remote outpost. The outpost was small, crowded, and often under stress. Supplies arrived late, systems failed often, and space weather made every repair dangerous. Sarah worked long hours, moving from one patient to another with steady focus. She spoke calmly even when alarms echoed through the halls. The aliens observed her during an emergency caused by radiation leakage. The station's shields weakened, exposing crew members to harmful levels. Fear spread quickly. Heart rates rose. Voices trembled. Yet Sarah moved forward without hesitation. She organized the injured, guided others to safety, and stayed behind to help those who could not move on their own. As she worked, the sensors recorded a clear change. The strange energy around the station grew brighter and more stable. It did not react to radiation levels or shield output. It reacted to her actions. Each time she reassured someone, the energy strengthened. Each time she placed another person's safety before her own, the field expanded slightly as if space itself leaned closer. The alien scientists reviewed the data again and again. They compared it with recordings from empty stations and fully automated facilities. Those places showed nothing unusual. Only where humans worked together did the energy appear. Only where empathy, trust, and cooperation existed did the effect grow strong enough to measure. One observer suggested that the humans were unknowingly producing a biological signal. Another believed it was a chemical response from their bodies. These ideas failed under deeper analysis. The energy spread beyond physical limits. It moved through walls, through vacuum, through distance. It behaved as if it listened. Sarah continued her work, unaware of the attention she drew. She stayed awake far longer than recommended, treating minor wounds and calming shaken minds. When her hands trembled from exhaustion, she rested briefly, then stood again. She refused to leave until every patient was stable. During this time, the outpost faced another challenge. A supply drone malfunctioned while docking, threatening to collide with the station. Panic rose quickly. Crew members shouted warnings. Some froze in place. Sarah stepped into the control area and spoke clearly, giving simple instructions. Others listened. They worked together, adjusting thrusters and stabilizers. The drone docked safely. The energy surged again, stronger than before. The alien scientists fell silent. This could no longer be ignored or explained away. The link was clear. Human cooperation created measurable changes in local space. Their emotions were not passive reactions. They were active forces. This discovery unsettled the observers. In their experience, emotions led to mistakes, conflict, and loss. Advanced species trained themselves to suppress such impulses. Order and logic ruled their civilizations. Humans were different. They felt deeply, openly, and often painfully. Yet instead of weakening them, those feelings seemed to create strength. The aliens studied records of past human crises. Disasters, wars, near extinctions. Again and again humans survived through unity during hopeless moments. Each time the same energy signature appeared faintly in old data, overlooked until now. It had always been there, waiting to be seen. Sarah finally rested after the crisis ended. She sat alone in the medical bay, head bowed, hands resting in her lap. Her exhaustion was clear. The energy softened but did not disappear. It lingered, calm and steady like a quiet promise. The observers recorded everything. Their final conclusion for the day was simple and deeply troubling. The strange changes were not caused by tools or science. They were caused by the human heart. And the galaxy was only beginning to notice. The deeper study began quietly, without announcements or shared reports. The alien scientists knew that what they were seeing could not be treated as a simple error. The strange energy patterns around humans had already challenged known science. Now the focus shifted toward probability itself, something once believed to be fixed and impartial. The data suggested otherwise. Researcher Caleb Wright became the center of attention after a serious accident aboard a human transport ship. The ship had been moving through a debris field when several systems failed at once. Navigation locked. Power dropped. Warning lights filled the control room. According to every known calculation, the ship should have broken apart within seconds. Caleb was in a maintenance corridor when the first impact hit. The force threw him against the wall, snapping support cables and crushing metal around him. A section of the corridor collapsed, sealing him inside. Air leaked out rapidly. The temperature dropped. Every survival model predicted death within minutes. Yet Caleb did not panic. He braced himself against the wall, slowed his breathing and focused on staying calm. He remembered training drills, safety lessons, and the faces of people waiting for him back on the station. He believed, without proof, that he would survive long enough for help to arrive. At that moment, alien sensors detected a sharp change. The probability field around the ship shifted. Not violently, not suddenly, but clearly. Tiny chances aligned. Loose debris moved just enough to block further damage. A broken cable rerouted power in an unexpected way. A pressure seal partially engaged where none should have existed. Caleb survived. Rescue teams reached him far earlier than expected. Structural failure slowed. Systems stabilized. The ship limped away instead of breaking apart. To humans, it was another narrow escape. To the alien observers, it was something far more troubling. Alien physicist Rin Solon reviewed the event frame by frame. She studied probability charts, failure models, and outcome trees. Each time she ran the numbers, the same conclusion appeared. Survival should not have happened. The odds were beyond unlikely. They were impossible. Yet reality chose survival anyway. Rin expanded the study to include similar human incidents. Ship failures. Environmental disasters. Near-certain deaths that ended instead with escape. The pattern repeated too often to ignore. Each time, humans were present, focused, determined, and connected to others through trust or shared purpose. The conclusion formed slowly but firmly. Humans were not changing physical laws directly. They were bending probability. Outcomes leaned toward survival when humans refused to accept loss. Reality adjusted as if influenced by collective intent. This idea shattered long-held beliefs. Probability was meant to be neutral. It did not care about hope or effort. Yet the evidence showed otherwise. Near humans, probability softened. It became flexible. Rin struggled with this realization. Her species believed that the universe rewarded precision and punished emotion. Humans broke that rule. Their emotions did not weaken outcomes. They guided them. Caleb, unaware of the attention, recovered in a medical bay. He joked about his luck and thanked the crew who saved him. He did not claim anything special. To him, survival felt normal. Humans survived because they tried. The aliens understood then that humans did not see themselves as exceptional. They expected hardship and adapted to it. This expectation itself seemed to shape outcomes. Rin shared her findings with caution. The data was clear, but the implications were dangerous. If humans ever learned how to focus this effect, they could reshape entire regions of space without weapons or advanced technology. But humans did not seek control. They sought survival, connection, and meaning. That made them unpredictable. The scientific council debated for long cycles. Some feared humans. Others suggested isolation. Rin argued for observation, not interference. Humans did not use this ability knowingly. They earned it through their nature. Caleb returned to work weeks later. He fixed systems, laughed with crew members, and continued life as before. The probability field around him remained calm but present. The aliens updated their records. Reality itself, they concluded, seemed willing to meet humans halfway. And that truth changed everything they thought they knew about the universe. The test was not announced to humans. The alien observers believed that honesty of reaction mattered more than consent at this stage. They chose an aging space outpost drifting near a quiet star, far from trade routes and major defenses. The station had been abandoned years earlier after structural damage made repairs too costly. Now it floated with failing systems, weak power flow, and unstable gravity fields. To the aliens, it was the perfect place to test their theory. A small group of humans was sent to the outpost under the excuse of salvage and recovery work. The mission seemed simple. Survey the damage, recover useful equipment, and leave. The humans accepted without question. They were used to risky jobs. Survival depended on it. Liam Parker arrived with the first team. He was a systems engineer with years of experience fixing things that should not work anymore. He trusted his hands more than complex plans. When he saw the station's condition, he frowned but did not complain. Broken panels, flickering lights, and low power were familiar problems. Anna Reed arrived soon after, assigned to manage crew movement and safety. She had a calm voice and a clear way of speaking that people listened to. She reviewed maps, checked emergency routes, and spoke with each team member before work began. She made sure everyone understood where to go if things went wrong. The aliens activated their sensors as soon as the humans boarded. The energy field appeared instantly, faint but present. It responded to human presence like a quiet signal waking up. The observers watched closely, waiting for failure. It came faster than expected. A power surge rippled through the station, shutting down gravity in several sections. Tools floated free. Crew members were thrown against walls. Old damage spread through support beams. Alarms echoed through empty halls. According to alien models, this was the moment collapse should begin. Instead, the humans adapted. Liam reacted first. He grabbed a railing, stabilized himself, and called out clear instructions. He did not shout. He spoke firmly, telling others to secure themselves and cut power to damaged sections. People listened and followed. Anna moved through the chaos with steady steps. She redirected crews away from danger zones and toward safe areas. She repeated instructions calmly, even as systems failed around her. Panic faded as order returned. The alien sensors recorded a sudden change. The energy field surged. It expanded outward from the humans, pressing against the station's unstable structure. The effect was subtle but measurable. Stress fractures slowed. Power fluctuations evened out. Systems that should have failed completely continued to function just enough. The observers exchanged silent signals. This was not chance. A second failure struck. A support ring cracked, threatening to tear the station apart. Liam and his team reached the area quickly. They used simple tools, manual locks, and improvised supports. Nothing advanced. Nothing elegant. They worked together. As they did, the energy strengthened again. It did not repair damage directly, but it reduced further loss. It bought time. Anna coordinated evacuations as conditions worsened. She guided teams toward transport docks, adjusting routes as new hazards appeared. She stayed aware of everyone's position, refusing to leave until all were accounted for. The aliens saw something remarkable. The energy did not focus on individuals alone. It responded most strongly when humans acted together with shared purpose. Cooperation mattered more than skill. Trust mattered more than planning. As the final transport prepared to leave, a major failure struck near the docking arm. The station shook violently. According to every calculation, escape should have failed. Liam stayed behind to finish a manual override that would keep the dock stable for seconds longer. Anna refused to leave without him. She coordinated the last crew members aboard and waited. The energy field peaked. It wrapped tightly around the docking area, holding structure together against impossible stress. The dock did not break. The transport launched. Seconds later, the station began to tear itself apart. All humans survived. The alien observers ended the test in silence. Their sensors continued recording as the outpost collapsed behind the departing ship. The energy faded slowly, like a receding tide. The data was clear. The theory was confirmed. Humans did not need advanced tools or perfect systems. Their ability to adapt, cooperate, and care created measurable changes in reality. They did not command the universe. They persuaded it. Liam returned to his seat, exhausted but alive. Anna checked on every crew member, offering quiet words and steady reassurance. To them, the mission had been dangerous but successful. Another close call. Another day survived. To the aliens, it was proof. The universe responded to humans not because they were strong, but because they refused to face disaster alone. And that made them something entirely new. The alien council gathered in a chamber built for silence and thought. Light moved slowly across smooth walls as information flowed through shared displays. What they reviewed was not belief or rumor. It was data gathered across many cycles, from many human encounters, observed without interference. The conclusion before them was heavy and it changed everything. They had expected to find a hidden weapon, an unknown technology, or a rare biological trait. Instead, they found something simple and unsettling. Humans endured. When logic said stop, they continued. When systems failed, they adapted. When hope weakened, they shared it. This refusal to give up was not dramatic. It was quiet and constant. The council reviewed records of human settlements placed in impossible locations. Frozen worlds. Burning orbits. Failing stations. Humans did not choose safety. They chose survival. They built homes where none should exist and stayed long after others would have left. The strange energy followed them everywhere, responding not to strength, but to unity. The data showed that when humans stood alone, the effect was weak. When they stood together, it grew. Shared purpose mattered more than numbers. A small group with trust created more change than a large group without it. The universe responded to cooperation as if it recognized something familiar. This realization unsettled many council members. Their civilizations were built on control and prediction. They believed that mastery came from understanding every rule. Humans did not master rules. They bent around them. The council reviewed the final test again. A failing station. Limited time. No advanced tools. Humans adapted, supported one another, and escaped together. The energy surge recorded during that moment could not be ignored. It was stronger than any previous event. The universe did not break for humans. It adjusted. This forced a difficult truth. Humans were not powerful because of weapons. Their technology lagged behind many species. They were not powerful because of intelligence alone. Others exceeded them in calculation and memory. Humans were powerful because they accepted struggle and refused surrender. One council member suggested isolation. Another suggested control. A third suggested removal. Each idea failed under deeper thought. Humans did not seek dominance. They did not expand with intent to rule. They moved outward because staying still meant death. The council reached consensus slowly. Humans were not a threat to the galaxy. They were a stabilizing force within it. Where chaos grew, humans adapted. Where systems failed, humans repaired. Where hope vanished, humans created meaning. The energy field was not a weapon. It was a response, born from connection and persistence. The council issued a new classification. Humans were named a resilient species. Not because they survived everything, but because they tried every time. The universe seemed to respect effort. From that day forward, policies changed. Human crews were placed near unstable regions, not as soldiers but as anchors. Trade routes shifted to include human stations near dangerous zones. Cooperation agreements formed quietly. Humans noticed none of this at first. They continued their lives as before. They repaired stations. They helped each other. They argued, failed, rested, and stood up again. The energy followed them quietly, unnoticed and unnamed. Over time, other species observed changes. Disaster zones stabilized faster. Recovery improved. Loss decreased. The presence of humans made outcomes uncertain in a new way. Not safer by force but softer around the edges. The council watched carefully, ready to respond if humans changed. They never did. Humans did not claim credit. They did not ask for recognition. When asked why they continued in dangerous places, their answers were simple. Someone had to stay. Someone had to try. The universe listened. The final council record stated the truth plainly. Humans were not chosen. They were not special by design. They became what they were through struggle. Their strength came from shared weakness and shared effort. Where humans stood together, reality itself became more forgiving. The galaxy would never see them the same way again.